Very warm welcome. You're watching Brass Tacks. I'm Akanksha Swaroop. Now today the mood in Kashmir, Srinagar was full of festive fervour, jubilation and hope. Hope for peace, progress and development. That until August of 2019 had eluded the valley as Kashmir remained in the grips of unrest and uncertainty for decades. But today, Prime Minister Modi took the stage amid thunderous applause and cheers in Srinagar's Bakshi Stadium, his words resonating with hope and determination for a Viksit Kashmir. Making an emotional pitch at the packed stadium, the Prime Minister trained his guns at opposition NC and PDP. Referring to Jammu and Kashmir as a victim of Parivarvad and corruption, Prime Minister Modi condemned dynasty politics and accused Congress and its allies of misleading people in the name of Article 370. While Jammu and Kashmir finally hopes for a better future unburdened by the shadows of the past, we pose the big question tonight on Prime Minister's Kashmir outreach. Will Vikas boost BJP in the valley? And before we do that, two paradigms are indicators of the change in Jammu and Kashmir. One is the economic side. Let's also have a quick look at what the economy of Jammu and Kashmir has been like in terms of the transformation, the investment proposals of 88,915 crore versus total investment of 15,000 crore till 2019. Now, what has happened in terms of handicraft exports? Well, they've doubled from 563 crore in 2021 till 2022 to 1,116 crore rupees in 2022 up till 23. Now 2.11 crore tourists have visited Kashmir in 2023. This has been highest since independence. 4.45 lakh yatris have visited Amarnath Shrine in 2023. This has been the highest in the last 10 years. Also, 9 tourist routes and 30 trekking routes have opened in Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh post the abrogation of Article 370 in 2019. New flights from Srinagar to Sharjah and night flights from Jammu have taken place all the way to Srinagar. Let's also now focus on the second paradigm, and that is the security scenario, the security apparatus that the government at the center has provided to the valley. Let's compare the figures from 2018 up till 2023 as far as December of 2023 is concerned. If you can see, the terror incidents in 2018 were at 228 versus 44 in 23. Encounters from 189 have gone down to 48 in the year 2023. Civilians killed from 55 to 13 last year. Security personnel killed has gone down from 91 to 26. Also, if you look at stone pelting incidents, remember this was a major problem in the valley. In 2018, the figure stood at 1,221. It's down to 0. Same is the case with shutdowns, which were at 52 back. Now in 2023 December, they've been reported to be 0. We'll be deep diving into this topic, but in just a bit.
मैं ये मेहनत आपका दिल जीतने के लिए कर रहा हूं और मैं दिनों दिन देख रहा हूं कि मैं आपका दिल जीतने की दिशा में सही दिशा में जा रहा हूं। आपका दिल मैं जीत पाया हूं और ज्यादा जीतने की कोशिश मेरी जारी रहेगी। ये वो नया जम्मू कश्मीर है जिसका इंतजार हम सभी को कई दशकों से था। इस नए जम्मू कश्मीर की आंखों में भविष्य की चमक है। इस नए जम्मू कश्मीर के इरादों में चुनौतियों को पार करने का हौसला है। आज श्रीनगर जम्मू कश्मीर ही नहीं, पूरे देश के लिए पर्यटन की नई पहल कर रहा है। जम्मू कश्मीर में परिवारवाद और भ्रष्टाचार का एक बहुत बड़ी भुक्तभोगी रही है हमारी जे&के बैंक। दशकों तक सियासी फायदे के लिए कांग्रेस और उसके साथियों ने 370 के नाम पर जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों को गुमराह किया, देश को गुमराह किया।
Will Vikas boost BJP in the valley? That's the big question we'll be posing to our esteemed panelists today. I'm joined at the moment by Sanju Verma, who's the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. I'm also joined in by Salman Soz, who's the national spokesperson for the Congress Party. Mr. Soz, if I could begin with you. A packed Bakshi Stadium, something that we all witnessed, Prime Minister received with a thunderous applause. Could you imagine such a scenario before August of 2019?
Well, as the former Chief Minister himself, Umar Abdullah, just tweeted, I think last night, it was packed, and we knew it was going to be packed, and it was packed by a lot of government servants who were forced who were basically bussed early in the morning hours, 5 a.m. or so. They were asked to report. Many people, I can't name them, but there are thousands upon thousands of people. Of course, they don't have any choice because they're government employees. Private, lots of buses and other things were commandeered. So, we know that the
But
Prime
Mr.
Minister
Soz,
BJP
I just want to know, could you imagine a gathering of such huge numbers prior to 2019?
Let me tell you that we've had huge gatherings of political gatherings in Kashmir much before this time. From 2010, in the election of 2011, when we had the Panchayat elections, 2014 elections, we have huge gatherings out here. So please do not tell us about Bakshi Stadium, which is a small stadium, and where you can actually take all of these people. So you may think that this is something that you've not seen. Maybe you're not aware. But people who live here, and by the way, I'm here in Kashmir today, we know political rallies have happened all the time. And by the way, this is not the first Prime Minister who has come to Kashmir and interacted with people. He interacted with
nobody's saying that he is the first Prime Minister who's come to Kashmir and interacted.
No, I'm just saying.
Right. Mr. Soz, I've given you enough time to speak. Let me also go. Yes, we'll have enough time to, Right. Please hold on for a moment, as I'm also joined in by Salman Nizami, who is the chief spokesperson of the DPAP. Mr. Nizami, if I could ask you about Viksit Kashmir, when the Prime Minister talks of how today the valley stands and has used the term Viksit Kashmir, how have you seen the valley transform post 2019? Has it transformed at all?
Well, there is no doubt that incidents of stone pelting has been decreased in Kashmir after revocation of Article 370. But militancy is still there. It's a concern for all of us because Kashmir is part of India. So we witnessed killing of innocent Kashmiri Pandits and Sikhs. Also, the migrant laborers, one migrant laborer from Jalandhar was recently shot dead in Srinagar. So the claims by BJP after revocation of Article 370 that militancy will end. So the things have not changed on ground. You can't claim that militancy is gone. It's still there. Also in the Jammu province, when Ghulam Nabi Azad was chief minister, so there was almost no militant incident in Jammu province. But now,
all right, Salman, I do agree with you that targeted killings continue to happen in the valley, but I have the figures with me over here, and let's not question the figures. 228 terrorist-initiated incidents gone down to 44 from the year 2018 to 2023. What are these figures then? Sanju Verma, if I could bring you in on everything that Salman has said, and also Salman Nizami.
I did not heckle anyone, Akanksha. I need my time, please.
Let me clear. Give me 1 minute. 370, there were only two things in 370. Land protection and job protection. Militancy had nothing to do with Article 370. Terrorism was there for more than...
Are you not... The Prime Minister himself, in his speech in 2019, had gone on record to say that Article 370 was being used as a weapon by Pakistan to sow poison in the minds of the young Kashmiri youth.
who built this
Stone
tulip
pelting,
garden.
terrorism. These are all a byproduct of that poison that's been sown by Pakistan.
The railway, the
May I please
4-lane
come in
project.
now?
Right.
I've
You
been
said,
listening to
Salman,
everyone.
Salman,
70%
I urge you to give the third panelist also a chance to speak. Sanjay ji, please go ahead.
2014,
This is
There was a
unfair. If he continues heckling, I don't wish to engage in a tutu meme debate because I need my time. I did not interrupt anybody.
Right, please go ahead.
Yeah. So, Akanksha, first things first, what was the stadium like in terms of the crowd that had gathered at the Bakshi Stadium? Was it an organic crowd or were these BJP office bearers on hire, which is what Mehbooba Mufti would have you believe? I think these are trivial issues. Let's focus on the core issue. And the core issue at hand, I'm so glad you put those numbers out. If you translate that into percentages, be it the number of civilians killed, be it the number of security personnel killed, be it the number of stone pelting incidents, be it the number of terror-related incidents, post the abrogation of Article 370, these have come down by anywhere between 67 to 99% or even more. So I think that's a great beginning. Point number two, I would like to take your audience back to just a very historic judgment on the 11th of December 2023. And it won't take me more than 20 seconds to read ad verbatim what a 3-judge bench led by Justice Chandrachud said. Because Akanksha, every debate on Kashmir has revolved around whether the abrogation of Article 370 was even constitutional to start with, and people said, oh, Narendra Modi government has usurped powers that it did not have. So, to just set the narrative straight on that one, CJI Chandrachud clearly said there was a proclamation issued on the 25th of November 1949 by the then Yuvraj Karan Singh, which clearly states, post the declaration of this proclamation, the Constitution of India supersedes every other constitutional provision that may have existed pertaining to the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir, which in effect means that the union government, the Modi government in this case, has the right to bring in new laws, abrogate and repeal all laws pertaining to Jammu and Kashmir.
All right, Sanju, point taken. Salman Nizami, in fact, Mr. Soz, I know you've been very patiently waiting. I request you to hold on for another minute. Salman Nizami, you just heard that point that Sanju was making, a very valid one. I want to keep, this is something I wonder every time I hear the opposition parties attack the whole abrogation of Article 370, something that has already been pronounced by the highest judicial body of the country. Why do so?
In every TV debate, BJP leaders, even Sanju Verma, we had a lot of TV debates on Article 370. They claimed that 370 was a hurdle. So after revocation of Article 370, Kashmiri Pandits will return back to Kashmir. So I want to ask Ms. Anju Verma that how many Kashmiri Pandits have returned back to Kashmir after revocation of Article 370? Modi ji was totally mum on Kashmiri Pandits. He did not announce any package.
Right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Nizami, you asked a question. Now please be tolerant enough to listen to my response. Thank you, Mr. Nizami. You can't keep on rattling. You asked a question, now show some courtesy and some patience.
Salman Nizami, I urge you to please be patient and courteous and let's be civil over here with our co-panelists.
This is unfair. He wants
Salman, I urge you to please maintain silence at the moment. Let's also listen into what Sanju has to say. Sanju, please.
Thank you. So, I just have a couple of points to make which completely crush this false narrative that Article 370 ke abrogation ke baad kuch hua hi nahi. First and foremost, let's make this very clear that the discrimination which existed prior to the abrogation between permanent residents. Can you please keep quiet? Akanksha, what kind of
Sanju, please go ahead. Please go ahead. Some people refuse to be quiet. You'll have to. I urge you to please continue saying what you are saying.
Mr. Nizami, please keep quiet. I will speak what I need to speak. You will not put words into my mouth.
Mr.
Thank
Nizami.
you so much.
Right. Please go ahead, Sanju.
Yeah. First and foremost, this entire discrimination which existed, Akanksha, prior to the abrogation of Article 370 between permanent residents and those who are not classified as permanent residents of Jammu and Kashmir. That discrimination is done and dusted and done away with. Point number two, Now anybody can go and buy land. You, me, any commercial enterprise. And because of Article 370, there was an artificial scarcity of land, due to which no industrial enterprise, among other things, was willing to come and set up shop in Kashmir, which is not the case anymore. Prior to abrogation of Article 370, Valmikis forget about standing for elections. They did not even enjoy the right to vote. Today, a Valmiki can also aspire for the highest office in the J&K assembly. Then look at the Bakarwals and Gujars. They always had the scheduled tribe status. But Prime Minister Modi, after the abrogation of Article 370, gave the status of scheduled tribes to Pahari Kashmirs as well. And 70% of Pahari Kashmiris are actually Muslims. So this again nails the narrative that Narendra Modi government is anti-Muslim. And I want to tell you, today there are direct flights between Srinagar and the UAE. Today, on an average, in the last 3 years, the footfall of tourists is more than 1.5 crore every single year. And tourism is what drives the Kashmiri economy. And last but not the least, I want to tell that today, thanks to the abrogation of Article 370, you have Jammu and Kashmir getting converted from a power deficit to a power surplus state.
Sanju, you said what you had to.
Units are willing to set
you
up
said what you had to, Sanju. We also have Ifra Jan, who's the spokesperson of the National Conference Party. Many thanks to you, Ifra, for joining in, though a tad bit late. But when you talk about Viksit Kashmir, we have a host of projects here with us as far as data is also concerned. You're looking at agriculture, you're looking at connectivity, you're looking at tourism. They've all been given a push, apart from how the security apparatus also has kicked in. When you look at all the data that we have assimilated, something we shared with our viewers earlier also, would you also still say or maintain that there has been no Vikas in Kashmir?
You see, if there was Vikas in Kashmir and if the BJP actually believed its own numbers, the BJP would not have been running from elections for past 10 years. The BJP would not have been terrified of facing the people. If these numbers were true, the BJP would have actually believed them and said, because we have done so much, we are very excited to see and we are very excited to be voted into power by the people of Jammu and Kashmir, because we know that we have done a lot of change and these people will vote us into power. Except it was the Supreme Court of India that had to force this government to conduct an election, because this government was in absolutely no mood to face the people of Jammu and Kashmir.
I don't know which elections are you talking about, because we are having elections.
If you could just let me speak,
Elections are all set to happen in some days from now. You just said that elections are not happening.
If they have
she's obviously not read up and she's come and she's blabbering.
I'm not quite sure how this works. If you're not allowing me to speak.
No, I was just making a slight correction over there. Please finish what you were saying.
Yeah, you're saying that elections are happening, except the Election Commission has not announced them, and it was the Supreme Court's direction that they will be conducting, if they will be conducted. Coming to second point, coming to today's Prime Minister's rally, the irony of the situation is that even the promises that used to be made to the people of Jammu and Kashmir until last year, किया कुछ नहीं था, but promise करते थे कम से कम that the statehood would be restored. Even those promises aren't being made anymore. At least we used to be told that a job package for our youth will be announced. This year there was no job package announced for youth.
Are you treating statehood as part of Vikas? Is statehood Vikas? Is statehood part of Vikas? No, it's really.
I want to come in here.
It beats me over there. All right, Sanju, before I come to you, Mr. Soos has been very patiently awaiting his turn. Mr. Soos, please.
So let me address 3 points that you all seem to be talking about, and Mr. Modi seems to have worked out some magic. Let's talk about your numbers, because your numbers are flawed. You just take about 1 year. Let's talk about the 5 years since 2019 and what has happened to terrorism. In the 5 years from 2019, according to the South Asia Terrorism Portal, 1,265 people have died as a result of terror incidents in J&K. In 2009 to 2013, a 5-year period, 1,208 people died. Fewer people died between 2009 and... So this is the South Asia Terrorism Portal. So this nonsense about
No, but
terrorism
the,
having declined.
but the South Asia,
South
Asia port. No, I am interrupting you because those figures are flawed. Let me tell you, 42,000 people died prior to 2019 over a period of 2-3 years.
Exactly.
42,000 innocent lives were lost. Yes, Sanju, please go ahead.
May I please come in?
Please.
May I please come in? Now he's lying.
All right, Mr. Soos, she wants to come back to that point.
Let me finish.
No, those are serious charges if you are going by those figures. You've completely overlooked figures of last year. You're overlooking tourism, Mr. Soos. You're overlooking the economy.
I'm coming to tourism.
Oh my God.
Let's talk about agriculture.
Please come in.
I'm coming to
We've
tourism.
seen
1.5
people from
CR.
ground zero, the traders talk about the kind of push. The women go on record to say that our brothers would leave for work, never come back in the evening. The killings have gone down.
Listen and let your
May I
audience,
please come in?
Yes,
listen to
yes,
me because
Sanju
you
ji.
people are lying to
Sanju ji,
them.
please.
Akanksha, you'll have
So
to
you're
take my
saying
word.
that the ordinary Kashmiri woman today is lying?
Speak so much. Why? Let the country know.
You know, this country is shouting
that
now.
1.5 CR
You will have to moderate the debate, Akanksha.
Mr. Soos, are you saying that the people of Kashmir who have come on camera today are lying? Mr. Soos, my question's very basic. Are those people who are coming on camera to say that yes, our lives have changed, there are lesser killings?
Let me tell you, Akanksha, please. Let us talk about numbers because you threw some numbers out. And Sanju also talked about some numbers. She said that 1.5 crore tourists came to Jammu and Kashmir. That's what the numbers she said, right? I didn't say it. These are, and if now go back and check in 2012. 1.3 crore
you are giving
people
free
came to Jammu and
run to this
Kashmir, and the
man.
reason for
He's
that
blabbering
is this is
non-stop
religious
without
tourism. That is Mata
the
Vaishno Devi
contemporary
gets the
data
bulk
at his
of
fingertips.
the tourist
He's quoting
traffic.
all data as per his convenience to peddle falsehoods.
Of the country.
Salman
You
Soos,
people are
stop
lying to
peddling
the people
rabid
of the
lies on
country
the show.
for
Salman
one
Soos,
night.
Salman Soos, tell me,
let us
is it
stand.
not true that members of the Valmiki community could only become
It is true.
sweepers
It is
till
Wait a
the
second.
abrogation happened?
Let me address that too, because you people
No, you can't
didn't
keep
Sanju
giving him
Verma
time
say
to
No,
speak.
Sanju, that's a question I have posed. Yes, that's a question I have posed. Salman, you've said what you had to. You wanted to share
Because you
figures.
people are
We've let
lying
you.
to-
Feels like a
May I please?
Don't lie
this
to the
feels
country.
like a republic
May I
debate
please
on
come in?
Sanju,
Akanksha, you are
Sanju,
not
please
moderating
go
the
ahead.
debate.
Right, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Thank
Sanju.
you. Akanksha, first things first. It was in 2015, barely a year after coming to the helm of affairs, that Narendra Modi, in his capacity as Prime Minister, declared an 86,000 crore package for Jammu and Kashmir.
How much of that
Where is it?
93%.
Where is it?
Answer, I refuse
Where
to
is
debate.
it?
Ifra and Salman, please let Sanju
Tell us.
finish her point.
Where
Let's
is the
I
maintain
refuse
some
to debate like
codes
this.
of
Where has the money
courtesy.
gone?
I
Where has the
refuse
money
to
gone?
debate. You can debate with the others
No,
because you refuse to
Sanju,
moderate.
Sanju,
Where
I
is the
request
money?
you, I urge you to stay.
86,000.
Salman
No,
and
you are
Ifra,
not giving me time to
please.
speak.
Salman and Ifra,
Why is there youth
please,
unemployment
let's
of
keep it a
26?
healthy debate and discussion. This is appalling if one of the guests has to leave.
We
No.
will not
You need
allow
to
you
give
to. We
equal
will
time
not
to
allow
people
anyone
to
to
speak
lie to the
honestly.
We are
people of the
giving you
country.
time to speak. Sanju, please
You
finish
don't
your
give
point.
equal time
You are not
to
able to
everyone.
take the time to speak.
Please
You are not able
speak.
to moderate the
No,
debate.
no, I am
Speak and not
asking
let the other
Ifra
panelists
and Salman both. I'll be coming to you. Let's give Sanju 1 minute to
want to
speak
ask
and I'll
a
come back to you.
question
I will come back to you, Salman and Ifra. Let Sanju speak.
Give all panelists equal
Yes,
time
I
to
will be
speak. That's
coming
all
back
what
to
I'm
you.
saying.
What is it that is not registering right now,
Because
Ifra?
you're interrupting
let-
us and you don't interrupt her.
I will be interrupting her if there's
You
something I
interrupt
disagree
us and
with.
you do not
The figures
interrupt
are there
her.
for
It's
you to
unfair.
see. This
And
data is there for you to see. Ifra, let's proceed now.
You know, you don't lower their faders and you eat into my time. What kind of a debate is this?
Sanju, please
This
go
is
ahead.
unfair.
Sanju, please go ahead and finish what
I've
you're
never
saying.
faced this problem with Zaka ever, Akanksha. I'm sorry
Sanju,
to
please
say
go
this.
ahead and finish what you are saying. And Ifra and Salman, please respect the code of conduct as far as this entire debate is concerned. I will come to you and I have promised you that I will be giving you time.
Thank you. I repeat, 86,000 crore package announced by Narendra Modi way back in 2015, a year after he became the Prime Minister. 93.7% of that package has not only been allocated but disbursed. Most of the projects are complete. Look at the Chenani Nashri tunnel, for example. It was started under the Congress regime of Manmohan Singh way back in 2010-11. It took a Narendra Modi to see to fruition in 2017. And the same goes for the Banihal Kazigund tunnel. Now, the most important point is this. I will not talk about the 32,000 crore projects that were launched last year, or the 28,000 crore GST linked package that was announced in 2021, or the 6,400 crore projects that have been, announced today by the Prime Minister. I say that at the heart of Kashmir, when we talk of Kashmiriyat, Insaniyat, Jamhuriyat, do you recall the last time the tricolor was hoisted? It happened after 3 decades in January 2022. And it is thanks to Narendra Modi that Shyama Prasad Mukherjee's Ek Nishan, Ek Vidhan, Ek Samvidhan today is a reality, which is such a hard pill to swallow for rabid bigots like, Salman Soz and this Ifra Jan, who comes to debates without homework and only comes and blabbers Modi, Modi, Modi.
All right, Sanju, you said what you had to. May I now go to Ifra, please? Ifra, Ek Bharat, Shresht Bharat. That was also the idea behind abrogation of Article 370. How do you place this into perspective now when you look at the valley be an integral part of the entire country, especially with regards to the issue of statehood?
Since I've already talked about statehood and said even the promise of statehood that the BJP used to make until last year, they've stopped even promising the bare minimum. So forget about that. They've humiliated the people of Jammu and Kashmir by degrading us into a UT, and they continue to humiliate the people of Jammu and Kashmir.
Nobody is degrading no one.
Sanju, please let them speak. They let you speak, Sanju. Sanju, they let you speak. Please let them speak.
What do you mean degrading?
Sanju, please let them speak.
To declare a state as a union territory and to change the demography.
Sanju, I urge you to let them speak because they allowed you to speak.
Jammu and Kashmir in this. What do you mean degrading? Please use your words with greater discretion.
Sanju, we cannot go ahead. We cannot go ahead with the discussion.
Let me explain. Let me explain to Sanju the word degrading. It means that debating you.
No, this is not degrading. It is changing the status.
Yeah, I will explain what the word degrading.
Salman Soz. No, Sanjay. Sanju, please.
It was changing the status.
Please let Ifra finish her point. Sanju, I urge you to let Ifra finish her point. Yes. Point taken.
Yes. What does the word degrading mean? The word degrading means that 1 crore 30 lakh residents of Jammu and Kashmir could make laws on all the state subjects prior to 2019. Now,
why should JNK have a separate constitution? Why should JNK have a separate set of laws?
How do you really do that?
All right, Salman Soz, let's stick to Vikas. When we talk about Vikas, I would like to refer to... No, Ifra.
Why should JNK have a separate set of laws that discriminate against scheduled castes and scheduled tribes? Do you know something? Akanksha, even the Criminal Procedure Code of 1973 was not applicable prior to the abrogation. Prevention of Corruption Act 1988 was not applicable. Income Tax Act of 1861 was not applicable. The Indian Penal Code of 1860 was not applicable. Even the Cinematography Act of 1952 was not applicable.
All right,
the
Salman Soz.
Act of 1970.
All right, Salman Soz, do you still concur, Salman Soz, with everything that Sanju is saying?
I mean, first of all,
central laws are applicable today.
Sanju, if you could let Salman speak. Sanju, you made your points.
Sanju needs to keep quiet.
Right, Sanju, please give Salman Soz at least a minute to speak.
So, look, anybody who tells you, and I'm not addressing any of you, I'm addressing the country. Anybody who says that Article 370 meant then J&K was not an integral part of India, they are being totally obnoxious. Article 370 had nothing to do with that. Article 370 was a kind of relationship not very different from what exists between the Union and states in the Northeast. This was, as Salman Nizami also said, it had things to do about our identity, our land, jobs, etc., those kinds of things. It had nothing. By the way, if Article 370 was responsible for terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir, why was there no terrorism between early 1950s when Article 370 was voted?
How convincing is that? Salman Soz, I want to ask you. No, Sanju, I'm coming to that.
Why did it not happen earlier? Your
Okay,
Manmohan
what's
Singh
the
was giving a
question?
Salman
Jadoo ki jhabti
Soos,
to Yasin
ask
the
Malik.
question is
Your
that
Manmohan Singh was giving a
have
Jadoo
you
ki jhabti
convinced
to
the
Yasin
Jammu
Malik.
region to reinstate Article 370?
Why was Manmohan
I'm sorry,
Singh giving
what?
a
I'm
Jadoo
sorry.
ki jhabti to
When you
Yasin
talk
Malik?
about
I-
reinstating
why
Article
don't you,
370,
Sanju, look,
nobody
Sanju,
wants
be
Article
respectful or do
370
not
to
come
be
to debate on
reinstated.
television.
Salman, listen to me. That's my question to you.
Yes,
when
what
you
is it?
when you talk about ground sentiment, whether it is Jammu or Kashmir, nobody wants Article 370 to be reinstated.
Who told you that? Who told you
The
that? Which
reports
world are
very
you living
much-
in?
Salman,
Which
you are
The
world
people
are
of
you
Jammu
living in?
and the people of
Akansha,
Kashmir is...
Salman, are you
You're a TV
blind or are you
anchor.
deaf?
You are a TV anchor. Stay a TV anchor. Don't become a BJP.
No, no, no,
puppet.
no. Salman,
Now,
please.
who the
I
hell
take
are the
offense
people
to
of
that.
Jammu?
I
If
take
you go to-
offense to that.
if you go to Jammu,
While I
if
agree
you go
that
to
people
Jammu,
of
if you
Kashmir...
go to forget Kashmir, if you go to Jammu, you will hear what people have to say
Akansha, I
about
want
the
to just
BJP.
answer that.
You go to Ladakh, see what's happening in Ladakh. What
I will answer
people are
that.
out
You
on
know,
the
Salman,
streets.
since you've already
What are they
accused me
asking
of
for?
being a BJP
Everybody's
stooge,
asking
might as well
for-
let
May I
BJP
please-
come back to that.
Everybody's asking
May I
for
please
their
answer that?
rights.
Akansha?
Everybody's asking for dignity.
All right,
You
yes,
have to ignore this man's
Sanju,
failure. He's been
Sanju,
talking
please
to
go
you.
ahead.
This is
Please
not,
go ahead.
This is not how.
All right, Salman, you've
Sanju
said what you
Verma,
had to. Let's
please
also
keep
listen into
quiet,
what
let
Sanju
other
is saying.
people speak.
Right,
Okay,
you've said
just,
what
you
you
know-
had to.
You
Yeah,
know,
so
Akansha, Salman Soos needs to hear something, which is the unpalatable truth. The fact of the matter is that in 2020, you had the DDC elections being held in November, December of 2020. And I remember that the Gupkar alliance was a hodgepodge of 7 parties. The BJP was all alone. All alone, we won 75 seats. We emerged as the single largest
And
party.
yeah, go
And
and
these
have a
7
state,
parties
have an
come
election,
together,
have a
and
proper
they could
election.
not win
DDC
more than
election, कहाँ से
108
talking
seats.
point लाते हो? Have a
7
regular
parties
election,
came
you'll be
together
wiped
in the
out.
DDC
BJP
elections
is
and
so
could
scared
still
of
not
not
win more than
BJP is so
107 or
scared you can't have
108 odd
elections in
seats.
JNK. What are
BJP
you
at
talking about?
75 seats was the
All
single
right,
largest
75
party in the
cents,
DDC
कोई
election.
75
All right,
अगर
it's
75
just-
पाँच
shut
या
up.
सात
Just
जाएंगे,
very
किसी
unfortunate
How did you lose
that
the DDC
we've not been able
elections,
to
Salman
deduce any kind of conclusion,
Congress
but that
won
also
just
goes on to
24
say
seats in the
how
DDC
polarized the valley is as far as the political minds are
Not
concerned.
just the valley, Jammu and Kashmir.
No,
not just valley.
Mr.
Don't
Soos,
forget
I'd
about
like to
Kashmir.
only quote the Supreme Court as I close this debate, that going by the historical context of Article 370, the abrogation was called for. That's what the Supreme Court had to say
Too
in
bad
its
Salman Soos does not
verdict.
believe
Many
in the
thanks to
Supreme
you,
Court.
esteemed panelists, for joining in on Brass Tacks.